Crimson Desert was getting attacked quite a bit. And they were getting attacked for essentially, allegedly, censoring their video game. Now, people were losing their mind before even hearing a response from the developers, which is the reason why, again, I didn't report on this because I had a feeling something was up. I don't know why people continue to fall for the super juicy stories on X, because if it's so juicy like that, chances are it's probably bullshit, or it's probably miscategorized in order for it to go super viral on X. You just gotta wait it out. Like, wait it out a day or two and see what the response is. Keep in mind, guys, I find it a little bit weird that people thought that they were censoring this video game. It's like, why would they censor this game, considering everything that we've seen them do with this game and the kind of outfits that they had for characters in this game? Not only that, the kind of outfits they have in their other video game, Black Desert Online. Like, this is not exactly the developers that would be censoring their their video game because of gooners or something. You know, I think that's kind of weird. So I thought the story was bullshit, but I gave it a couple of days for it to cook, and they've already addressed it. Now, I'm not going to know the technical know-hows. I'm going to show you the difference, okay? This is the difference right here. So this was the original photo on the left, and this was the censorship supposedly on the right. You can even see that it's not even fully formed properly, almost as if it wasn't intentional. Now, here's the thing. They have come out and they have actually addressed this. If you go to their website under known issues, you will see that Damien, while fixing an issue where the elegant carmine leather armor would clip, its appearance was unintentionally altered. This issue will be resolved in the next patch. Just like that. Literally just like that. So what happened was, Pearl Abyss has done censorship stuff. You are missing informed. What is missing informed? Do you mean misinformed? Do you mean misinformed? What is missing informed? And what censorship stuff have they done in the past that has to do with Crimson Desert? I'm talking about Crimson Desert, okay? I'm talking about Crimson Desert. Have they censored Crimson Desert before? No, they have not, right? So whatever they've done in the past, I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about the game Crimson Desert. People jumped on the issue with Crimson Desert and passed it off as if it was true when they didn't even know if it was true or not yet. But in any case, so I'm not going to know the technical know-how, but from my understanding, I remember reading a post. I didn't get to save it. But from my understanding, how this goes is that they had a clipping issue with this dress. And this garment that you see here
Here's my theory.
was actually meant to be
These
invisible.
leaks are planned to test the market. First leak the game a few days early. If the public reacts badly, delay game release.
That's possible. Thank you, Benjamin, for the 5. I appreciate that. I think what it is that this piece of garment here was meant to fix the clipping problem, but it was meant to be invisible. So that way you could see the regular outfit as it was, and it would solve the clipping. But it unintentionally actually showcased as not invisible, which resulted in them looking like she got booty shorts on. Again, it all depends on whether you want to believe them or not. Here's what I will say, all right? With developers that have shown you that they are giving you everything that you want, and they have, I'm going to extend at least one, and usually only one, benefit of the doubt. And this is going to be that benefit of the doubt. The reason why is because Crimson Desert as a video game has given me everything that I was looking for, has given me everything that they promised, everything that they ever said they were going to do, they did, right? They said no microtransactions, they did that. They said that the game was going to be massive with hundreds of hours of content, they did that. They literally are patching the game and adding content to the game for free. They're doing all of this and keeping their word on everything. So this is their one grace where I'm like, all right, it was a fuck up. You know what I mean? If it was another company that didn't earn that benefit of the doubt, then I would probably not believe them, or at the very least, I'd be like, all right, that's a little sus. But just looking at the picture and looking how weird it looks, where the shorts don't even look like they actually are rounded out. Like, you can see how this is rounded out on the left. On the right, it's not rounded out. You can see it look damn near patchy. It seems like a quick fix that was accidentally revealed. It was supposed to be invisible, but it wasn't. And the fact that they answered very quickly and they said that they were going to resolve it in the next patch tells me that they, that this is something that was not meant to be. All right. So at the very least, I'm going to say that I believe them for now. But again, this is their one saving grace, essentially. If this happens again, you better pray it doesn't happen again, because you can't say whoopsie daisy again for the same issue, right? One and done, that is it, and everybody moves on. But if you do it again, then that's obviously going to be a problem. Now, people lost their fucking mind over this, okay? They absolutely lost their mind over this. And some people were pointing out a recent outfit that was added to Black Desert Online to be like, hey, like this is the same developers that added this. Why would they suddenly censor their current character? It's kind of true. Right? David says, this is Pearl Abyss' next costume for female characters in Black Desert Online, by the way, the Hypocrisy. Instead of thinking hypocrisy, and I understand why people do, right? Because, again, remember the world that we live in, where even in Stellar Blade gaslit the fuck out of us, right? Stellar Blade gaslit us to the point where they were like, oh, yeah, the initial, the censorship is totally, this was our initial vision. This is not censorship, guys. This is what we always plan. Meanwhile, on Disc 1.0, it was literally the original outfits. They had to patch the game for them to showcase the new outfits that were censored, right? So all this nonsense combined, when I think of Black Desert Online, and I remember the outfits they have in that game, seeing this, I immediately thought something was wrong. So I didn't report on it immediately. I wanted to wait to see what they said. And now they've acknowledged it is basically a problem. Again, this is their one saving grace. This is their one opportunity to essentially, get a, if you want to call it a get out of jail free card, whatever. But if they fuck up again, then I'm going to start questioning whether or not this is actually a mistake or if it's intentional. That's basically it. So for those of you that are worried about this, and by the way, hey, shout out to Camelot and Sebi for the raids, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm in a segment. I'm sorry. But thank you guys so much. You guys are legendary. Thank you. I'm going late tonight. Not really. This is the last segment. We're talking about censorship. Well, supposed censorship in Crimson Desert. But you already got people going crazy. You got people going crazy on Steam forums. Will this be censored after launch? Will it? Will it? Right? You got people losing it. Why so much censorship in this game? The movement keys rebind is still censored as we can't have access to it. People are trolling, by the way, which I appreciate. A bunch of you need to get laid. One thing I will say about this discourse is that it does bring out the best in both sides. It does. It brings out the best in both sides, where people are just being fucking retards to each other. That's what I really like about it, where you just get the like nonstop all over social media. It's fucking amazing, bro. It's amazing. Crimson Desert. Oh, this should be good. Crimson Desert has lost 65% of its player base in less than a month. Brother, it's a single player game, my guy. This is just insane. That's a brand new game's player base has dwindled down 45% of its highest. It is a single player game, brother. It's a single player game. Relax. Why are so many okay with censorship of this character? Regardless of whether it was a bug or mistake, I like how you fixed that. How do you feel about censorship? It was done to another character, brother. I'm not going to give up a 500-hour plus video game that is fantastic because some fucking bitch got booty shorts on. Is it gay? Absolutely. Do they deserve to get called out if it's censored? Absolutely. But I'm also not going to sit here and pretend like I wasn't having a fantastic time with the game. I don't understand why the internet can't understand that two things can be true at the same time. But unfortunately, all discourse has pretty much lost all nuance in today's world, sadly. We got, let's see what else. Is there another? No. I'm just trying to see if there's any other censorship. Nope. They're probably deleting it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if they're deleting all the threads regarding the censorship. So anyway, guys, listen, they're gonna fix it, right? I'm extending the benefit of the doubt this one time, but if they do something like this again, then we're gonna have a totally different conversation. We're going to have a totally different conversation at that point. But my advice to people out there on the internet, while I understand why people jump on this shit, because we have experienced insane levels of censorship, and we're talking like stupid fucking censorship, right? We're talking about censorship that really doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. That is actually big deal censorship. We're talking about like games like 007 James Bond having no fucking blood in it. And somehow it's okay showing a guy shooting other guys in the face, but God forbid you have a little bit of a blood, and that's just going too far, right? Like, it's stupid. Remember when Stellar Blade also censored a lot of the blood effects? Remember that? You know, people didn't even talk about that. People were so focused on the actual outfits, they didn't even talk about the fact that they actually censored a lot of the blood and violence in the game as well. At least from what I saw from the initial trailer to what it was. But in any case, you know, I pick and choose my battles, and at the end of the day, like, this is not going to make me forget a game like this. But again, Anev says, do you think the censorship was Sony's fault? So I talked about this. While I personally believe that it was Sony's involvement, I can't prove it, right? I can't prove it. I can't sit here and be like, yeah, it absolutely was Sony. I can't say that. What I did say, though, is that with Stellar Blade 2 coming up, right? Everybody knows Stellar Blade 2 is coming up. If you missed me talking about it yesterday, Stellar Blade 2 has officially announced that they are self-publishing, right? So Shift Up is publishing Stellar Blade 2 on their own. They're not going to have Sony publishing the game. So if you see any kind of censorship in Stellar Blade 2, that means that they're the reason why it was censored in Stellar Blade 1, in my opinion. If you see it censored, if you see it not censored, well, then you know it was most likely Sony that did the first one, right? That's my opinion. Again, that's how I'm looking at it, but everybody can look at it the way they want to. So anyway, that's basically it for Crimson Desert. And like I was trying to say before, on the internet, I understand why people react, because there has been a lot of bullshit that we have dealt with over the last few years. I get that. But guys, if a story is too juicy, it probably is when it comes to this kind of shit. And we have proven time and time again, when we see reports of censorship and this and that or whatever, a lot of the times recently it's been bugs and things that people have been fixing, and then before you know it, everything's fine again. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know I'm talking to the wall at this point when it comes to this kind of stuff, but still, like, let's at least wait until we see what you could bring the fire to the developers. Absolutely. You could light their fucking feet on fire so that way they have to respond. But like, before you start saying this is absolutely true, this is what's happening, like, let's wait and see what the developers have to say for themselves. And then we kind of decide from there. And in this regard, it seems like it was a bug. So considering they have given us everything else that they promised, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for now. But again, if it happens again, well, there we go. Splitsack says no blood in 007 is definitely a bug. Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Why you got to do me like that, man? Why you got to do me like that? Yes, it's not a bug. It's not a bug, bro.